Christina with Admincadabra. Today we're talking portfolio and inventory. This is pillar number 1 because it is the most basic thing that you can do as an artist in your art business. When you're trying to drum up collectors or press interest, or you're having an exhibition, this is going to be what you dip into at multiple stages through the process. So right now maybe you're selling a couple of things here and there, you're excited, you're looking to do more. This document, this process is going to equip you with the muscles that you need to hang with the big dogs, which is what we want, right? So working with your portfolio and creating an inventory around it, we're going to create an image inventory, and we're going to create a master catalog. So with this step, the first thing I want you to remember is that it's not going to be done overnight. It's going to be significantly less fun than making art, which is why I suggest starting with the chunk of your work that excites you the most, because cataloging that is going to keep you going. And once you get it started and you have a good bit going, it's a lot easier to keep up with and maintain. So without further ado, let's get going. Gather up all of your work in one place if you can. It's going to naturally divide itself into categories if you do multiple mediums. See what you do. For example, I do oil paintings, I do ink drawings, I do some dry media, and even within my ink drawings, I do a black and white monochromatic line work type style, and then I also do an illustrative color watercolor ink style. I do a lot of stuff and they're disparate. Oil paintings aren't going to interest people looking for black line work. So to me, setting up my portfolio so that it has the divisions based on those media is really helpful. Once you have all your artwork in one place, dividing it out physically by category as it makes sense for your work, then each category, I want you to do your very best to try to put it in chronological order. Not all of us can remember exactly when we made something, but we can pretty much guess the year. And at the very least, oh, I made this before this, and I made this one after this. So just put it generally as close as you can remember. I'm going to show you right now how I divided up my portfolio. Okay, so you can see how my portfolio kind of divided itself. I put all those things in chronological order. Now I'm ready to start looking at each one. So at this point, I set myself up an easel in a nice well-lit area of my living room near a window, and I put a piece of board on the easel, and I put up each artwork and took a nice clear picture of it. I took maybe one or two just to make sure it wasn't blurry or skewed or anything like that. I just wanted to have a current, nice picture taken with the same phone or the same camera or the same computer or whatever. And then I put all of those into a folder. Now, if you use Google Drive like me, I would throw it in there since it's backed up to the cloud. You get a free Google Drive with every Gmail address. So if you're not with Gmail, if you sign up for Gmail, there's a lot of integrated apps that can help you down the road with other projects as well. If you're not a part of the Google community, that's fine. You can try Dropbox. You can save it to the hard drive on your device. Pretty much everywhere is going to have a limit. Your device will run out of storage. It'll require you to purchase some external storage, or if you're working with a cloud-based platform like Google Drive or Dropbox, eventually you reach a point where they say, okay, you have to pay us for more storage, and then you have to delete and whatnot. So just thinking ahead, what works best for you. I'm happy to answer any questions in the comments below if you have a specific platform you're looking at or a need that needs to be met by the platform you choose. I will say that wherever you decide to save the images of your work should be in the same place where you save other things related to your studio. So ideally everything is under the umbrella of your studio. This folder is for images, this folder is for inventory, whatever. We'll get into that later. Okay, so now you've taken photographs of all of your work. Once you go into your computer, you can crop them all down, just like only showing what the work is, if it's in a frame, if it's on the wall, if there's things in the background, crop it down so the only thing that we can see is the art. You're going to save it with a file name that follows the same protocol each time and contains all the details of that particular work. So the file name will be the year it was created, the title, the dimensions, the medium and substrate, and some people like to put the artist name in there as well, so that when they send it out, it's all immediately recognizable to third parties. Let me show you what I mean.
So what you're looking at here is how I've arranged for a client, with permission to show you that she's got all of her images, audio, and video in one folder. So I wanted to show you here in her images folder, this is all media pretty much. So down here we've got works. So this is everything that is in her current portfolio. Some things are older, so we've moved them into archive. And a couple of her applications require PNG formats and some require JPEG formats. So just as a matter of course, I made a copy of both formats for each work that she completed. So looking at, they're both pretty much the same. They're just different works or the same works in different formats. So as you can see, each one of her pieces is named in the exact same format. So we've got year, title, medium, substrate, and dimension. And that's for pretty much all of them. And we can make this bigger so you can kind of see. You'll recognize your own artwork from the picture, but whenever you have this information in the file name, you have all the basic details that anybody would really ask about any piece for sale or exhibition. It's all right there already listed out for you. And if you forget to put it in the body of an email, it's, the file name in the attachment contains all that information. So this is what you want for your own work. You want one folder that contains just the image. Let's see, we can look at one of these. So it's only the image. You can use the Paint program or whatever basic, creative editor program on your device. All of them have a crop function.
Okay, so now you've seen how to save your images of all the new photographs you've taken of your work. The file naming protocol, you've got all your pieces in one place. I am so proud of you. The next step after that is to create a master catalog. Let me show you mine.
So this is my work. This is a spreadsheet. It opens here in Google Sheets. Like I said, I like to use Drive. Google products are my friend. However, I can open this on my laptop using my Excel program, and it's going to look the exact same. This is just stored in the cloud, and the Excel version would be stored on my device. So looking here, the first thing I want to show you is what I've got here across the top. For each column, you've got a picture of the work, a stock number, which I'll get to later, the year, and I put circa because memories are not always great and we do the best we can, and when you're the artist, so whatever you say it was made, that's when it was made. The title of the work, the dimensions, I always put it in this format, width times height times dimension, and whether or not it's framed. Medium and substrate, a short description. Not every work has a description, I think, or maybe I did, but I mean, it's really, if you know your work, you know what it's about. But sometimes these little blurbs can help when you're in a rush and someone's asked for you to email a picture over. It's nice to be able to just copy this and put it right into the email body. People love a little story behind what you make. Just even the tiniest bit of insight can give it more richness that wasn't there before and might encourage a sale. We've got location history here. So anytime its location changes, I would put the date in this format: month, day, year. If you're in Europe, of course, it would be day, month, year, and then the location where I know what that means. So studio storage, I have a storage system set up in the closet of my spare bedroom home studio. So I know that that's been there since then. And if it moves, if I exhibit it somewhere, I would add a second line to show what date it changed location. Exhibition history. This is optional, but it's helpful if somebody's asking about where it's been, or was that the piece that I saw at this show. If you exhibit in a prestigious place, sometimes it's really nice to name drop if that's appropriate. So I just I like data. So I try to just put a month and a year and then a quick phrase about what location it was. And then that way I can always have it as reference. And then this one last is loans and consignment. This is also optional. When you start working with art dealers or people selling your work on your behalf, whether it's a museum or a gallery or, a single person entity, you will often have arrangements with them that vary in percentages who gets what from the sale. So should one of these pieces, say, go on consignment or be loaned to a museum, I might put here in this column, 65% to me, 10% to the nonprofit, and 25% to the gallery. And then that way I can just know at a glance what I would make off of this piece. And as history grows, I can see how my business acumen has improved my take-home percentage. So this is just a quick overview. I have, one more thing I want to show you. This, I've got, I believe 5 or 6 categories to my portfolio. So these are oil paintings. Anything done in oil on any substrate is going to be oil, listed as LP, which is just my own internal system. Once I laid out all my categories, and we can talk about this in a little bit, it helps me create a stock number. So just real quick, my stock number naming system is based on its dimensions, 16 by 20. So 1620 LP tells me it's oil, and 0017 just tells me that that was 17th in the list of oil paintings as I was cataloging. So this painting will always have this number, and if ever I need to list it, say in a stock app, or I'm taking inventory, I've got that same number written on the back of this painting. So everything matches up, and if I ever need to provide a gallery with a list of stock numbers or anything like that, I have them right at my fingertips. Again, optional at this point. What I mainly want you to do is get pictures of all your work so they can go here. And I want you to know the basic information about each piece. So, and you'll do that for each one of your categories. So you can see after oil comes my studies. So that's here. So unfinished works that stand on their own that I think are interesting might be sellable. I've got early work. So just to point out here, studies, it's ST is its abbreviation. So for these, I haven't uploaded the pictures yet. I have them taken, I just haven't cropped them. But here you've got a 6 by 6. So we've got a 66ST0001. So I know that the magenta study that goes along with, that's going to be its stock number. So here we've got early work, abbreviated as BB, because baby artist works from the artist's academic career. So I know that this 117 is not 1 inch by 17 inches. I don't have any works like that. I know that this is 11 inches by 7, BB for the abbreviation, and then the number that it comes through, and grotto, I know what that is, and once I have a picture up, it'll be complete. Other categories, dry media. This is anything in something dry. Then I've got color wet here and monochromatic wet. That's anything in ink or watercolor or whatnot. So as you can see, I'm still working on it myself. It's always a work in progress. I set aside 15 minutes a week. I do what I can and then I move on. It's an ongoing evolution. It's something that you will be grateful that you put in the time and effort to do. And once it's up and running, each time you make a new piece, it's pretty simple and laid out for you on how to add a new piece.
So there you have it. Portfolio and inventory is a really important foundation to any art business. If you don't know what you have, how can you know what to sell? If you take the steps that I've outlined in this video, all the way from collecting your work to dividing it into categories, to putting it in chronological order, taking beautiful photographs, saving your photographs under the file naming protocol we talked about, creating a master catalog, this process will refine for you where you're headed. It can allow you a certain amount of pride to see where you've been, and it's the starting point of all the next pillars. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments or send me a message. And as always, please subscribe so you can see the next videos in this series and learn a little bit more about the basics of setting up a successful art business. Until next time, I'm Christina with Admincadabra, and I'm here to help artists just like you.